Good morning. We're here with Marc Chandler, the Global Head of Market Strategies for Brothers Harriman. Thanks for joining us today, Marc. He's with us during the Manufacturers Executive Network Conference, and we just wanted to take a few minutes of your time, and we wanted to talk a little bit about manufacturing. And why don't you talk a little bit about the employment trends that are affecting in the sector, and as well as the ripple effect?
Sure. So manufacturing, as you know, has had a tough time of things. Over time, manufacturing jobs have been lost. Through the crisis, we fell below 12 million jobs in manufacturing for the first time since World War II. The good news is that since the end of the crisis, manufacturing jobs have come back. About 600,000 new manufacturing jobs have been created. We lost a couple million. We've gained back 600,000. It's a nice down payment towards what eventually will be the full employment coming back here.
What is the ripple effect in the employment sector?
A good rule of thumb is that for every job that manufacturing creates, 2 to 4 jobs are created outside of manufacturing. This is for logistics, drivers, human resources people. All kinds of other people our jobs are supported by manufacturing jobs. So when we talk about 600,000 manufacturing jobs, new jobs in the U.S., we really got to think about a multiple of that, 3 or 4 times that to see the employment impact of the better jobs in manufacturing.
So it really bodes well for the importance of manufacturing employment to the economy in the United States. What are some of the challenges? Why don't you talk a little bit about the skill shortage challenge?
So there's a big challenge for American manufacturers, partly because we've been the school system is not necessarily generating the skill set in young people that is needed for these new manufacturing jobs. And these are the STEM jobs: science, technology, engineering, especially, are important for to get manufacturing to stay world class. And so I think that when you look at the jobs that are available, it turns out that we've got a shortage. We've got too many jobs in some areas where they're not just growing more jobs. But on the other hand, we've got too many openings that haven't been met because of a skills shortage rather than because of lack of population. So the real emphasis is on businesses finding these important skills they need to bring the manufacturing to that next level. And
so important to the younger generation who are looking for jobs, and these careers are outstanding opportunities for them.
Because I think it really helps to identify young people. You want to get a job, maybe being a buggy whip maker is not the idea. Getting in the STEM sector and just the shortage of jobs just means higher wages. And so this is a very important place for people to be investing in skills. And even for adults, a lot of community colleges, a lot of universities have adult education programs where people, even in mid-career, can retool and get the STEM education that's needed to get us to this next level.
That's outstanding. And Marc, we've heard for so many years the term offshoring, and now today we're hearing reshoring. Can you talk to us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, sure. For a while there, back in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, companies were moving production offshore. So part of it sometimes is a cycle of research and development. You do the expensive stuff here, and then when it becomes a commodity, you ship it out, let someone else make it. But most importantly, what's happening in the last several years, especially this side of the crisis, is people want to have shorter supply lines, less complicated supply chains. They want to be closer to their customer to have quicker responses to changing fashions, to changing needs. And so we're seeing as businesses in the U.S. bring back production from China or other parts of the world, bring it back to produce in the U.S. Cheap energy is an important part. A low unit labor costs, that's the productivity of American workers, all encouraging U.S. manufacturers who had previously put jobs in China or in Indonesia or Vietnam, bringing those jobs back. At the same time, foreign producers are coming back to the U.S. German automakers, Japanese automakers, all kinds of technology companies want to be in the U.S. to take advantage of all these good things the U.S. has to offer. So it's a reshoring from U.S. businesses coming back to the U.S., as well as foreign businesses bringing their businesses to service the U.S. worker back here in the U.S.
And of course, we heard this morning Michael Ayrton speak about Connex, how they've brought many of the jobs back from China that they had previously sent work over to China, and of course the trend there is that wage rates are increasing.
wages are increasing, and also for like something that we often take for granted in the U.S., some kind of product safety. And I know many people have experienced product recalls, but there are product recalls. This is in some ways a sign that the system is working. A manufacturer, a producer makes something that has a defect in it, they can recall it. But in other countries, you think about food safety and even safety of like what kind of paint you use for kids' toys. And so these things, I think American standard is as high as any place in the world, and that also we can be confident when made in the U.S.
And that's the phrase that we heard a lot today, made in the U.S., the pride of making and buying American-made products and goods. So it all sounds pretty good for our future.
Yes, we got challenges for sure, but I think that going forward, we're a country that does make things. And we forget about that. And I have some friends who tell me, well, the U.S. makes debt. And I go, no, we actually make more goods than we've ever made before in American history.
On that note, that's very happy news and great to hear. Thanks, Mark, for joining us.